All right, so you're ready to trade the city for some beach time, huh? Bangkok to Pattaya. We're going to break down how to get there, what to see when you arrive, and all the best insider tips. We're looking at a blog post from Solpin, Bangkok to Pattaya, Ultimate Travel Guide. It was just published on February 17th, 2025, so it's got all the latest info.
It's pretty amazing how many ways you can actually get from Bangkok to Pattaya. It's not like a one-size-fits-all trip, which I think is great.
Yeah, you've got like 5 different options: buses, trains, private transfers, the whole works. I'm all about having choices. So the blog mentions private transfers, but I feel like for a solo traveler, that could get pricey. But if you've got a group, you could split the cost, right?
For sure. Plus, you got to factor in the convenience. Everyone arrives together, no stressing about luggage or figuring out public transportation.
True, true. The train is also an option. But the blog makes it seem like it's not the most convenient, unless you catch those weekend express trains. They're air-conditioned, but they cost a bit more. So it's like comfort versus cost.
Right. Got to weigh your priorities. Are you someone who prioritizes comfort, or do you embrace the adventure and save a few bucks?
I think I'm somewhere in the middle. No matter how you get there, check out Klook and 12 Go Asia. They have some awesome deals on tickets.
Good, totally. And speaking of deals, you can sometimes find combo tickets on Klook, like your transfer A&D admission to one of the attractions.
Whoa, that's smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're in Pattaya. What's the vibe? The blog kind of paints it as this high-energy place. Beaches, nightlife, and even some cultural stuff sprinkled in.
It is intriguing how Pattaya caters to all these different types of travelers. I mean, the blog even mentions family-friendly fun. So it's clearly not just a party destination. You could be at a chill spot one day and then hit up Walking Street the next.
You're right, you're right. And when it comes to beaches, they highlight Pattaya Beach as the main hub, lots of action. And then you've got Jumpeen Beach, which is supposed to be way more laid back. Already picturing myself there with a good book and the sound of the waves.
Sounds like paradise. Now let's talk about some of the sites. The Sanctuary of Truth caught my eye right away. It's this massive temple, entirely hand-carved from wood. All these intricate details blending Buddhist and Hindu philosophies.
Wait, hold on. Carved entirely from wood. That's insane. I'd be taking pictures nonstop. Okay, and then there's Kolarn. Quick ferry right away. Snorkeling. White sand beaches like Tawan Beach. It all sounds so dreamy.
And don't forget about Khao Chi-Chan, Buddha Mountain. It's this huge golden Buddha etched right into the cliffside. Over 100 meters tall, taller than the Statue of Liberty.
Wow, that puts it into perspective. Okay, but those are just a few things to see. It sounds like you could spend weeks in Pattaya and still not see everything.
Exactly. It's all about building your experience. And to help you plan, the blog recommends going during the cool season, November to February. That's when you get the best weather.
Makes sense. Sunny skies and mild temperatures sound perfect for exploring.
And they really advise against traveling during the rainy season, May to October. Those heavy rains could really put a damper on your trip, especially if you want to spend most of your time at the beach.
Gotcha. Now for the big question. How many days should you actually spend in Pattaya?
That's a good one. The blog says even a long weekend is enough to hit some of the highlights.
See, I'm already thinking I need more time, like 4 or 5 days to really soak it all in. Maybe even take some day trips to nearby cities like Chonburi or Rayong. Would you rather do a packed weekend or a longer, more chill trip?
It really comes down to your travel style, right? Some people like to go, 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 and others like to take it slow. I like to do a bit of both. Maybe a few days in Pattaya and then a day trip or two to explore the area.
I like that. Huh. And the blog has a great tip. Visit during the week. Apparently it's way less crowded on weekdays.
Insider knowledge is key. That applies to everything. Lounging on the beach, exploring temples, or navigating those busy markets.
No crowds. Sign me up. Okay, let's talk about a couple more insider tips from the blog. First up, avoid rush hour traffic. They say 7 to 9 a.m. and 5 to 7 p.m. are the worst.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nobody wants to be stuck in traffic when they could be out enjoying Pattaya. And the blog's second tip is to get a Thailand eSIM. For easy navigation, but it's really so much more than that.
Right. Like imagine you're at a street food stall
Okay.
and you want to make sure you're getting the best pad thai. Boom, you can pull up reviews and translations on your phone, all thanks to that eSIM.
Exactly. It's not just maps. It's instant translations, online bookings, even sharing those amazing vacation pics.
Okay, I'm sold. eSIM, it is. So it seems like we've covered the basics of getting to Pattaya and some of the highlights you won't want to miss. But I have a feeling there's a lot more to uncover, right?
Oh yeah, we've just scratched the surface.
So we've talked about how to get to Pattaya and what to see, but I'm curious what makes it so special? Like, what's the overall vibe?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
What I find fascinating is It's not just beaches or nightlife. It's this unique energy, this mix of cultures and experiences that you don't find everywhere.
Right. The blog mentions tropical charm, but I'm not sure I get it. Is it like laid back or high energy?
It's kind of both.
Yeah.
You can have your chill moments at Jomtien Beach, but then you've got the buzz of Walking Street after dark. It's like Pattaya has multiple personalities.
Okay, I see what you mean. So you could really create your own Pattaya experience. Like if you're an adrenaline junkie, there's water sports, island hopping, even zip lining through the jungle. Okay, now you're talking. Zip lining through the jungle. Count me in.
I can tell you're already picturing it. But it's not just for thrill seekers. If you're into history and culture, you've got the Sanctuary of Truth, the Big Buddha Hill, even the floating market.
Wait, floating markets? I thought those were more of a Bangkok thing.
There are a few in the Pattaya area, too. It's a glimpse into traditional Thai life. Plus, you can snag some cool souvenirs. And we can't forget about the party people. Pattaya's nightlife is legendary, especially Walking Street. Clubs, bars, cabaret shows, it's all happening.
So we've got adventure, culture, nightlife, and let's not forget about just relaxing. Pattaya has some seriously beautiful beaches.
And the food. Thailand is a foodie's dream, and Pattaya is no exception. You've got everything from street food to upscale restaurants with ocean views.
You're making me hungry. But I see your point. It's all about choosing your own adventure, right?
Absolutely. And that's what makes Pattaya different. It's not just one thing, it's a little bit of everything.
Okay, now that we have a better idea of what makes Pattaya unique, let's talk logistics. The blog gives some tips on planning your trip. First up, getting around Pattaya.
Right, we talked about getting from Bangkok to Pattaya, but what about once you're there? Well, Pattaya is a pretty compact city, so it's easy to get around. You've got songtas, those red pickup trucks that act like shared taxis.
The songtas. Classic. They're a cheap and fun way to get around, especially for short distances, right?
Exactly. It's a total Thai experience. You haven't truly been to Thailand until you've ridden in a songthon.
I love that. Okay, so songtas for short trips. But what if I want to go further or need something a bit more comfortable?
For longer distances, or if you want more privacy, you can take a regular taxi. And if you're feeling adventurous, rent a motorbike. Just make sure you wear a helmet and be careful in traffic.
Safety first, for sure. Speaking of safety, are there any scams I should watch out for? The blog doesn't really mention any.
It's always smart to be cautious, especially in tourist areas. One common scam is inflated prices, especially for transportation. Always negotiate fares beforehand, or use ride-hailing apps like Grab.
That's a good tip. And I've heard about those jet ski scams, where they try to say you damaged the jet ski and then charge you a ton of money.
Yeah, those are out there. It's best to stick with reputable rental companies. And carefully inspect the jet ski before you take it out. Take pictures or videos of any damage, just in case.
Document everything. Got it. Anything else?
Just be wary of overly friendly strangers with deals that sound too good to be true. Stick to official tour operators or vendors. And trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is.
Good life advice. Okay, let's switch gears to accommodations. What are my options in Pattaya?
You've got tons of options, from budget-friendly guest houses to fancy beachfront resorts.
So whether I'm on a tight budget or want to splurge, I've got choices.
Exactly. Just remember to book in advance, especially during peak season.
Right, I don't want to miss out on my dream hotel. And speaking of booking in advance, the blog recommends pre-booking tours and activities, especially for popular spots like the Sanctuary of Truth or a trip to Koh Larn.
Yeah, that's a smart move. You'll secure your spot and might even get a discount.
Nice. Now the budget question. How much should I expect to spend in Pattaya?
That's a tough one. It depends on your travel style, where you stay, and how much you plan to eat and drink.
True, but give me a starting point. Does the blog have any estimates?
They say you could get by on about $30 to $50 per day. If you stay in hostels, eat street food, and use public transportation.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
But obviously, if I go for fancier accommodations and restaurants, my budget will go up.
For sure. But the good news is, Pattaya has something for everyone, no matter your budget.
So we've got transportation, accommodation, budget. Any other essential planning tips?
Let's talk about packing.
Okay, let's play What's in Your Suitcase? What are your must-haves for Pattaya?
Sunscreen is a must. Got to protect your skin from that tropical sun.
Definitely. I'll add a hat and sunglasses too.
Good call. And don't forget, insect repellent. Mosquitoes can be a problem, especially at night.
Okay, insect repellent added. You know what else I'll pack? A light raincoat, just in case I get caught in one of those sudden downpours.
Always be prepared. Another essential is a universal adapter. Thailand has different electrical outlets than many other countries.
Speaking of devices, my camera is coming for sure. Got to capture all the memories. And maybe a portable charger so my phone doesn't die while I'm out exploring.
Great additions. And maybe a good book for those relaxing moments on the beach.
Perfect. I think we've got all the packing essentials covered. Anything else?
Just one more thing. Pack an adventurous spirit.
Love it. So we've talked about what makes Pattaya unique. We've covered transportation, accommodation, budget, and even packing. I'm feeling pretty prepared to plan my trip.
You're definitely on the right track. But before you get lost in those travel blogs and booking sites, there's one more thing we need to discuss.
Ooh, suspense is killing me. What is it?
We've talked about what to do in Pattaya, but what about what not to do?
Interesting. I guess even paradise has its rules.
Exactly. Sometimes knowing what to avoid is just as important as knowing what to do.
Okay, we've covered all the fun stuff. The beaches, the attractions, the energy. But now let's talk about the things you should avoid in Pattaya.
Exactly. Think of it as a guide to dodging those travel pitfalls, so you can have a smooth and enjoyable trip.
Because even paradise has a few bumps in the road, right? So what's the first thing I should steer clear of?
Well, the blog doesn't mention this directly, but it's important to be respectful of local customs and traditions. Thailand is mostly Buddhist, so certain behaviors could be offensive, even if you're totally normal back home.
Okay, give me some examples.
Like, you shouldn't wear revealing clothes when you visit temples. Make sure your shoulders and knees are covered. And public displays of affection are generally frowned upon, especially in more conservative areas.
Got it. Be mindful and respectful. What else should I be aware of?
Scams, unfortunately. Like many tourist spots, Pattaya has its share of people trying to take advantage of visitors.
Okay, I'm listening. Any specific scams to watch out for?
One common one is inflated prices, especially for transportation. Always negotiate fares beforehand or use ride-hailing apps like Grab. That way you know you're getting a fair price.
Makes sense. What about those jet ski scams I've heard about? The ones where they say you damaged the jet ski and then demand a ton money?
Right, those are definitely a thing. Stick with reputable rental companies and really inspect the jet ski before you go out. Take pictures or videos of any damage, just in case.
So document everything. Got it. Any other scams I should know about?
Be careful of strangers who are a little too friendly, especially if they come at you with deals that seem too good to be true. It's best to book tours and activities through official operators or vendors. And trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is.
That's a good rule for life in general. Okay, let's talk about food safety. Thai food is delicious, but are there any precautions I should take?
Definitely. Street food is a must-try, but choose your vendors wisely. Look for stalls that are busy with locals. That usually means the food is fresh.
So follow the crowds.
And stick to cooked food rather than raw dishes. Oh, and avoid drinking tap water. Bottled water is the way to go.
Okay, bottled water it is. What about alcohol? Pattaya is known for its nightlife, so are there any do's and don'ts?
Always drink responsibly, of course.
Yeah.
But in Thailand, it's illegal to drink alcohol on Buddhist holidays, so keep that in mind.
I had no idea.
Also, the legal drinking age is 20, so have your ID handy if you look young.
Good reminder. So we've talked about scams, food safety, and responsible drinking. What else is on the what not to do list?
Don't litter. It seems obvious, but Thailand is serious about protecting the environment, and littering can lead to big fines.
Right. Plus, it's just disrespectful. Always throw your trash away properly.
And while we're talking about respecting the environment, be mindful of wildlife. Don't disturb animals in their natural habitat, and don't support attractions that exploit animals.
Ethical tourism is so important. Okay, so to sum up our what not to do segment, be respectful, stay safe, and make responsible choices.
Exactly. Follow these guidelines and you'll have a much more enjoyable trip.
It sounds like I'm ready to plan my Pattaya adventure. I've got the inside scoop, the practical tips, and now I know what to avoid.
You're all set. Just do your research, use your common sense, and embrace the experience.
Amazing advice. Thanks for all the insights. I'm feeling inspired and ready to go.
Awesome. Enjoy the journey, and don't forget sunscreen and that adventurous spirit.
Until next time, everyone, happy travels.